Hey everyone, let's take a moment to talk about something real, something that might be hitting close to home for many of you. I want you to truly understand this. The frustration you're feeling from others right now? It's not just about them, it's about you. But here's the twist, it's actually a powerful thing, a reflection of your growth and transformation. You've been making big, bold changes in your life, and these changes are rippling through every area of your existence. You're no longer living passively or letting life simply happen to you. Instead, you've started living with intention, with clarity, and with purpose. You're paying closer attention to your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. Every choice you make now is aligned with the person you're becoming, the truest version of yourself. And let me tell you, that kind of shift, it's powerful. But here's the thing. Powerful shifts often shake things up. Some people in your life, or even the forces around you, are struggling to adjust to the new, empowered version of you. Why? Because the old ways they used to influence or control you just don't work anymore. The strings they used to pull, the tactics they relied on to keep you stuck in old patterns, they've become useless. You've outgrown them, broken free from the cycle, and now they don't know how to handle it. It's like you've woken up from a long, dreamless sleep. For so long, you might have felt like you were drifting, going through the motions without any real sense of direction. But now you see things clearly. You've tapped into a strength that's always been within you, a strength you may not have even realized you had before. You're no longer living on autopilot, letting life pass you by. Instead, you're fully awake, fully present, and firmly in control. You're in the driver's seat of your own life, carving out your own path with purpose and confidence. And let's be real, that's not easy for some people to accept. The old version of you, the one who might have been unsure, easily influenced or uncertain, that version doesn't exist anymore. You've leveled up, and now they're faced with the reality that the tools they once used to keep you small no longer work. And that frustrates them. It pushes them to extremes, trying every trick in the book to shake your newfound peace and power. But here's the beautiful part. It's not working. No matter how hard they try, no matter how much effort they put into disrupting your progress, they can't touch the person you've become. You've built something within yourself, an unshakable foundation of self-awareness, strength, and resilience. You've risen above the noise, above the old patterns, and above the negativity they're throwing your way. Stay tuned for what's next, because this journey you're on, it's only the beginning. It's like going up against a basketball player who isn't particularly skilled. They keep taking shots, but you already know with almost complete certainty that most of the time they're going to miss. You don't even have to put in much effort to block them, because their attempts just don't land. That's exactly what's happening here. No matter how much effort they put into trying to disrupt you or bring you down, they're not making any progress. Their frustration only grows as their attempts fall flat, time and time again. So here's the truth. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep living with that awareness, that intention, and that determination, because the path you're on is unique. It's a path not everyone can handle, and that's exactly why their frustration is a sign that you're winning this game. The very fact that they're trying so hard is proof that you're on a level they can't reach. You've elevated yourself, and now they're left scrambling, unsure how to respond to this version of you. Think about this. We've all seen those players on the court who don't pose much of a threat. You know the ones. They're often referred to as self-check players. These are the ones you don't really need to guard too closely because, let's face it, more often than not they're going to miss. It's almost funny. You might even find yourself letting them take a shot because you know the odds are heavily in your favor. They're likely to miss, and you can focus your energy on the stronger players, the ones who actually bring a challenge to the game. Self-check players are practically set up to fail, but the irony is they don't even realize it. They go through the motions, taking their shots, but their efforts rarely make any real impact on the game. They stay stuck in the same patterns, never breaking free or evolving into something more. Now take a moment to reflect. Think back to a time when you might have been in that self-check mode. It was easy for them back then, wasn't it? They didn't have to try very hard to keep you in check. They knew you'd step up to take your shot, but the outcome was almost always predictable. You'd try, but your efforts wouldn't land. You were stuck in a cycle of routine, doing what you thought you were supposed to do without questioning it, without pushing beyond the boundaries of what was expected. You were playing by a script that wasn't even yours. They didn't have to break a sweat when they faced you because to them you weren't a threat. They didn't need their best strategies or tactics to keep you in that place. All they had to do was rely on the same old tricks, and it worked every time. But look at you now. That version of you? The one who played small, who let others control the narrative, who operated on autopilot? That version is gone. You've stepped up your game in ways they never saw coming. You've become intentional, focused, and aware. You've broken free from the predictable patterns they relied on, and now they're the ones struggling to keep up. The old tricks don't work anymore because you're no longer playing the same game. You've evolved, grown, and transformed. Now they're the ones who feel powerless. They're the ones who are predictable, taking the same ineffective shots over and over again. They're the ones stuck in a cycle they don't even realize exists. Meanwhile, you've risen above it all, operating on a level they can't comprehend. And that's why things feel so different now. You're no longer just a player in someone else's game. You're the one writing the rules, creating the plays, and leading with confidence. They might keep taking their shots, but you've already won. Their frustration is simply a reminder of how far you've come and how much power you've claimed for yourself. Keep going, you've got this. It's a whole new game now, a whole new level, and you're the one setting the pace. You've turned the tables, and suddenly the spotlight is on you. Keep pushing forward because you're no longer the player people overlook or underestimate. You're no longer the self-check, the easy target. No, you're the one they're worried about now, the one who's commanding attention and respect. Everything about you has changed, and it's impossible for them to ignore. You've woken up truly and deeply, and there's no going back to who you used to be. The old version of you, the one who operated on autopilot, reacting instead of leading, that version is gone. You've put in the work just like an athlete during the off-season, training relentlessly to improve. Think about it. The best athletes don't just rest when the season ends. They go into the lab, into the gym, into the depths of their focus, and they work. They work on their weaknesses, they sharpen their strengths, and they emerge as an upgraded, unstoppable force. That's exactly what you've done. You've spent time investing in yourself. You've taken a long, hard look at where you were and where you wanted to go. You've reprogrammed your mindset, rewired your habits, and made the changes that truly matter. You've practiced, refined, and rebuilt yourself from the ground up. And now, here you are, stronger, more prepared, and more focused than ever before. You're not just back in the game. You're playing at a level they never anticipated. You've leveled up in every sense of the word, and it's thrown them off. They don't know how to deal with this new version of you because you're not the same person they once knew. You've taken control of your life, your choices, and your destiny, and that's something they never expected. You're no longer operating from a place of reaction, just dealing with what comes your way. No, you're in charge now. You're making deliberate, thoughtful, and strategic moves that reflect the depth of growth you've undergone. It's like you've switched from playing checkers to chess. You're no longer moving impulsively, just reacting to what's right in front of you. Instead, you're thinking several steps ahead, carefully planning your next moves and setting yourself up for success. That kind of strategy, that kind of foresight, is something they're not prepared for. The same tactics they once used to manipulate or control you, they don't work anymore. You've evolved, transcended, and become a version of yourself they didn't see coming. And now, they're scrambling. Imagine the chaos on their end as they try to figure out how to approach you. The game has changed, and you're playing at a level they can't comprehend. They're stuck in their old ways, relying on outdated strategies that no longer apply. Meanwhile, you're moving forward, growing stronger, and expanding in ways that leave them in the dust. Think about it. There was a time when they had the upper hand, when they knew how to keep you in a cycle, stuck in the same patterns. But now you've shattered those limitations. You've stepped into a new identity, one built on awareness, intention, and confidence. They don't just see the change, they feel it. It's palpable, undeniable, and it's making them uneasy because they no longer have control. Keep this in mind. The work you've done isn't just about leveling up for yourself, it's about setting a standard, showing others what's possible. You're not playing by the old rules anymore because you've realized you don't have to. You're creating your own game, one that aligns with your values, your vision, and your purpose. And that's a power they can't match. So keep going. Keep planning, growing, and moving with purpose. Every step you take in this new direction is proof that you've become the person you were always meant to be. Let their confusion, their frustration, and their inability to keep up be a testament to how far you've come. The pace you're setting now isn't for everyone, but it's perfect for you. Keep rising. It's like the rules of the game have completely flipped. The people who used to have the upper hand, who thought they could control or manipulate you, are now scrambling to keep up. They're pulling out every trick in the book, doubling down on their efforts and throwing everything they've got at you, hoping to slow you down or throw you off track. But here's the kicker. It's not working. It can't work anymore because you're not the person you used to be. You're moving differently now, with purpose, confidence, and clarity, and their old strategies just don't hold the same power over you. You can almost hear yourself saying it. They can't stop me. And it's true. That's exactly why they're so frustrated. They're desperate, clinging to old tricks that used to work, but now bounce right off of you. Why? Because you've outgrown that version of yourself. You've evolved. You've stepped into a new space, one where their influence is no longer relevant. They've thrown their best shots at you, and now they're starting to realize that you're no longer just the person they used to know. You've become someone stronger, someone more aligned with a higher purpose, and that's something they can't compete with. It's as if they can sense it. That there's a force bigger than you, something divine and unshakable, guiding your steps and strengthening your resolve. They can see it in your eyes, hear it in your voice, and feel it in your presence. You're no longer just moving under your own power. There's something greater at work here. And that realization? It rattles them to their core. It's not just you they're up against now. It's the higher force propelling you forward. They know they can't win this battle because their energy is running out while you're just getting started. They're upset because, for the first time, they've met their match in you, and not only that, but they're starting to understand that there's absolutely nothing they can do to drag you back to the person you used to be. You've left that version of yourself behind, and there's no turning back. You're operating on a whole new level now, and they're the ones struggling to catch up. Can you feel that shift? That undeniable power within you? That's what's keeping you ahead, no matter how hard they try to hold you back. You've reached this point because you've chosen to embrace your true self and step into your power. And that's exactly why some people can't help but take shots at you. They're not just upset, they're intimidated. You've managed to do something rare, something that most people aren't willing or ready to do. You've broken away from the norms and started living authentically. You're no longer playing small or staying confined by what's expected. Instead, you're boldly carving out your own path, and that's a level of freedom that many people can't comprehend. Think about it for a moment. Consider the people you grew up with, the friends you used to hang out with, or maybe even some old teammates. Many of them are still stuck in the same old patterns. Every time you scroll through social media, you see it. They're hitting up the same spots, partying at the same clubs, drinking every weekend, and doing the same things they've been doing for years. They're living on repeat, stuck in a cycle, and they can't seem to break free. Meanwhile, you've broken away from all of that. You've made the choice to elevate yourself, to grow, and to evolve into someone greater. And that choice, that decision to rise above, is what sets you apart. It's what makes you stand out and what makes them uncomfortable. Because your growth, your transformation, is a mirror for what they haven't yet done. It's a reminder of the potential they've ignored and the opportunities they've let slip by. But here's the thing. Their discomfort is not your responsibility. You didn't grow and transform to make anyone else feel bad. You did it for yourself, for your future, and for your purpose. And as you continue to rise, you'll inspire those who are ready to see the truth. The rest, they'll either watch from the sidelines or fall away. Either way, you're on a journey they can't stop, and that's what makes you unstoppable. Keep moving forward with intention, confidence, and faith. The path you're walking is yours alone, and no one can take that away from you. It's like they're stuck in a time loop, repeating the same routines, the same nights out, the same empty distractions, over and over again. Their lives are running on autopilot, caught in cycles they can't seem to break. But that's not your story anymore. You made a choice, a brave, bold choice, to break free from that cycle. You woke up, opened your eyes to a new reality and started living with intention. Now, every decision you make aligns with the person you truly are, with the path you were always meant to walk. And that's exactly where their frustration comes in. They're not mad because you've changed, they're mad because they're still stuck. They're upset because you've broken free from that old way of life, while they remain trapped in patterns that no longer serve them. They're watching you rise, and it's throwing them off because they can't figure out how to stop you. So what do? They start throwing obstacles in your path. They try to shake you up, to pull you off balance. They mess with your peace of mind, disrupt your focus, and maybe even try to invade your energy so deeply it affects your sleep. But here's the thing. They're fighting a losing battle. No matter what they do, they can't drag you back to the person you used to be. Why? Because you've outgrown that version of yourself. You've evolved. You've risen above the noise, the drama, and the games. And once you've stepped into this new space of self-awareness and power, there's no going back. They're scrambling now, trying to figure out why their old tactics don't work anymore. The strategies that used to get under your skin or keep you stuck have become completely ineffective. You've rewritten the rules and now they're lost, trying to play a game they don't understand. It's like they're still playing checkers while you've moved on to chess. You've leveled up, and they're left floundering, unsure how to deal with this new empowered version of you. Their frustration and anger? Those are signs that they're struggling to comprehend how you've moved forward, while they're still standing in the same spot, repeating the same motions. They can't keep up because the path you're on now isn't one they can control or influence. You're free. And that freedom? It's what sets you apart. They're exhausted because every attempt they make to pull you back into the past fails. Every obstacle they throw at you, every little disruption they try to create, it all falls flat. None of it is enough to turn you around or make you retreat into the person you once were. You're walking a new path now, one filled with purpose and clarity, and there's no falling back into old ways. And that's why they're so upset. Because you've chosen to rise above, to live on a level they can't reach. And no matter what they do, no matter how hard they try, they can't bring you back down to their level. You've already proven that you're beyond their grasp, beyond their games, and beyond their reach. Do you see what's happening? They're struggling. They've tried everything they can think of, throwing every strategy, every trick in the book at you. They've called in reinforcements, doubled down on their efforts, and yet, nothing. They still can't seem to stop you. And that's why their frustration is boiling over. You're not like anyone they've dealt with before. You're not predictable, you're not pliable, and you're certainly not someone who can be easily swayed. And that's what's driving them wild. They're like kids throwing tantrums, stomping their feet and lashing out because things aren't going their way anymore. They're so used to being in control, to having the upper hand, that now, with the grip slipping from their fingers, they don't know how to handle it. But here's the truth. This isn't your problem. Their frustration is a reflection of their limitations, not yours. You've changed the dynamic. You've flipped the script. And they're simply not equipped to deal with this new elevated version of you, so keep walking your path with confidence. Keep rising above the noise. Their frustration is nothing more than a sign of your growth, a testament to how far you've come. And no matter how hard they try, they can't stop what's meant for you. You've got this. Keep going strong, because you're untouchable now. That's all for today. Dear Father, I pray for the growth of my faith. Help me trust you even when physical evidence is lacking. Let me believe in your perpetual presence, knowing you will never harm me. I understand that your thoughts for me are thoughts of prosperity, and not harm, to give me a good future. Thank you, gracious and eternal Father, for always listening to my voice. I offer up this prayer to you in the name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you, Jesus, for your love and provision. I am grateful for your presence in my life and the abundance you bring. If this video resonated with you, please like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with those who need to hear this message. Leave a comment below about your journey and how you are preparing for your own triumphant return. If you'd like to support our work, please consider contributing through Buy Me a Coffee. This helps us continually improve our content to offer you the best. The link to Buy Me a Coffee is in the description. No gift is too small. Whether it's a penny, a prayer, or a share, your generosity helps spread God's word and brings hope to others. Don't stop here. Watch our next video for powerful revelations about the signs that reveal you are the chosen one. We've enjoyed following this spiritual journey with you. Thank you for staying with us until the end. Keep shining brightly and embrace your destiny with courage. See you next time. Blessings to all the beautiful souls from the Enlighten wisdom.